Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to make some freeze-dried camp quesadillas, and I'm going to show you how I make them. Let's check them out. Alright everybody, welcome back. Now first off, yes, my voice is funky. I'm just getting over a cold. So that's why it's a little bit strange today. But today is my birthday, so I decided I'm going to make myself some quesadillas for lunch today. And I'm going to show you what I got going on here as far as the food I'm using and the regular stuff I'm using, which are just those little tortillas down there. And we're going to put together some really, really delicious food. Let me show you what we're using from freeze-dried Wholesalers first. All right, so really quickly, I'm going to show you what we're using today. First off is stuff that isn't included in freeze-dried Wholesalers, and I've made some of it up here. This is, there you go, some of this refried beans. These are really, really good. If you guys see these in your stores, pick them up. Mexicali Rose. These are really, really good. Okay, now let's get to the freeze-dried Wholesaler stuff. From their seasoning and spice pack, I have the cilantro, the onion powder, and most importantly, taco seasoning. This stuff's really, really good. It's pretty much generic. I've used it for everything from burritos to quesadillas to nachos, whatever. Lastly, we're going to do some beef quesadillas. So I have the ground beef, okay, and freeze-dried cheddar jack cheese, shredded up. Now, I have hydrated the cheese, and I have hydrated the beef, okay? So we're going to get going on this, but the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to use the flat grill today because we're going to put the tortillas on it, and we're going to heat that up and fire this up and see how we can get it going. All right, so I put a little bit of olive oil on there, and I'm just kind of warming it up. We're not going to get this smoking hot yet. I did drain the hamburger, the beef, okay? We do have our mix together here. Got some of that taco mix and some of the cilantro and a little bit of the onions. So what I'm going to do once this gets heated up enough is going to put this over here on the low side because, again, I don't need to cook this stuff. This is already cooked. I just need to warm it up, okay? So we're going to put it over here, warm it up, and see how that goes. Basically, I'm just going to toss this in here right now and mix it up, mix in that taco spice. And yes, I washed my hands for all you people. I'm the only one eating this anyway, but yes, my hands are clean. All right. So we got that going there. That's real simple. We're just going to drop that right on there and warm it up. Okay. Add in a little bit of the onions, a little bit of the cilantro, a little more onions because I like onions. And we're going to let that just warm up. Once that's warm, we're going to change over to this side, and I'm going to show you how I set up my tortillas for making these quesadillas. Alright, so for those of you wondering what I'm using today, we just have a regular Coleman grill that I recovered from a second-hand shop here in town, Goodwill actually, that was pretty beat up, and it needed a whole lot of repair done to it. And I got it going pretty good. Now we got the stainless steel cast iron, lid up here, top, and I picked that up from Walmart. I forget how much they were, like $12, $15, not too bad. And it's really worked out well here. So the meat's about ready. Now what I'm going to do is take the bottom tortilla, and this tortilla is a little bit big for this grill, but it'll do. It'll be all right. And I'm just going to put it down, kind of mix it around there with the olive oil, okay? Now the first thing I do normally is put the cheese on, because I want the cheese to melt. Really, really simple to do. I'm going to turn that way down so I don't burn it, and flip it over. There we go. So I got a nice uniform warm area. I'm going to put the cheese down there. Okay. There we go. I want that to melt kind of evenly. And once that melts, I will add my refried beans to it. So I'll bring you back once that's all melted up and ready. I'm going to add a little bit more cheese as I move it around a little bit because it's kind of too big for the surface. And then we will add more cheese and the refried beans. All right, so now I can just kind of drop these on here. Almost paint them on. These are kind of thick. You can make them thin or thick as you want. Again, they are they're not freeze-dried. They're just dehydrated. So you won't have the shelf life of freeze-dried, but they will work. And they come out pretty good. They are pulling up some of the cheese, so that's kind of annoying, but for a camp meal or an emergency meal, learning to use your food definitely comes in handy ahead of time. So we're going to scoop the meat up on here, and then I'm going to put some sour cream on this. And we're going to flip it over with another quesadilla or another tortilla on top. And see just how good we can get this. So let me mix that around a little bit for you. And I'll bring you back when it's time to flip it over. Alright, so now we're going to put the cheese on top here, because that's going to be what covers it on the other side of the quesadilla. And we're going to take another tortilla shell here and put it on top. And then just let it sit. Now I don't have the flame very high here. You really don't need it very high for this. This should be very, very easy to put together and do without a really high flame. And should turn out to be a really yummy, good lunch for me. So I'm just going to plop that on there. And we're going to just pack that down. Let it sit for about 5 minutes. Once that's fully done, we're going to flip it over. Cook the other side. And I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's all finished. Alright, we got it flipped over. Getting the other side here, because remember, this is half on and half off, and yes, I just made a huge mess, but it's still going to be delicious. Not at my best today. Just getting over a cold, but hey, it'll still be awesome. So give me a few more minutes. Let's let that finish cooking on that side, flip it over, and we'll give it a taste test. Alright, so there's the final product, and you see how easy that was to make. Just like you're making regular, quesadillas with regular food, but you just have to hydrate the stuff ahead of time. And it is good to practice with your emergency food so you know how it works when you have to use it. So I'm going to try a little piece of this here because this is messy, but it looks really good. That is absolutely amazing. So that makes a definite good birthday lunch for me. Anyway, folks, don't forget to check out Freeze-Dried Wholesalers link down below. That link will save you 15% on anything you order on his site. But you have to use my link down below to save 15%. Along with that, don't forget to check out all our other links down below. We have our Amazon affiliate store, our My Patriot Supply store, that's preparewithiridium.com. We got $250 off a 3-month kit on that site. And our Thrive Life freeze-dried food store as well. Anyway, folks, don't forget to get out there and practice with your emergency food. Stay safe and stay prepared.